Namaste students, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया. I am JV'n's Dr. Neeraj Dholia, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jayoti Vidhyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. So students, today we will study the topic types of fertilization, and this topic was incomplete in the previous lecture. So we will continue this. So this is comes under the subject developmental biology. So let's start. So fertilization is a key phenomenon of the sexual reproduction. It is not present in the asexual reproduction. The two parents donate genes to their offspring through a process called the fertilization. So what is the process? The process is the fusion of the gametes of male and female. So they make after the fusion they make the zygote, and which will further develop in the complete animal. So fertilization is necessary for sexual reproduction, and there are two types of the fertilization. One is the external, and another is the internal. So in the external fertilization, the fertilization process occurs outside the body, and the internal fertilization, the fertilization process occurs within the female body or the female reproductive tract. So the external fertilization is the key feature of aquatic environments or the aquatic animals, and they require and requirements both a male and female organism that release gametes into water. So in the process for the completion of the external fertilization, the gametes from the male and the female are released in the environment. Environment means if they are in the aquatic system, then they will release the gametes into the water. So this releasing of process is known as the spawning. So amphibians, fish, and coral reproduce by external fertilization. So external fertilization is advantageous because it results in a large number of offsprings. So what is the significance of the external fertilization? That it develops a huge number of offsprings, but there is threat because the gametes are in the free environment. So there is a chance of predation. The adverse weather conditions may harm the gametes. So animals that spawn do not typically care for their youngs. Okay, and the degree of protection is directly proportional to the survival. So the chances of surviving the individuals from the external fertilization is lesser than the internal fertilization. So some organisms, you know, that they hide their eggs in the sand. Some carry their eggs in their mouth, in their back. Okay, so they are these are the techniques of the protection of their offsprings. So an organism that is nurtured by a parent stands a much better chance of living. So let's talk about the internal fertilization. So animals that use internal fertilization specialize in the developing and protecting an eggs. So they are either they have the inbuilt mechanism of protecting the fertilized eggs, or they have the parental care externally. So the reptiles and birds secrete eggs covered in a protective shell that is resistant to water loss and damage in order to protect them. So this is the inbuilt mechanism, the secretion of eggs with the protective covering. So this is a caring of the fertilized egg. See the monotremes, they are the a type of the mammals. So they protect an embryo or fertilized egg within the mother as it develops. So this extra protection increases the chance of survival by supplying the embryo with everything it needs until it is born via live birth. So organisms that internally fertilize can care for their young for anywhere from a few months to several years after they born. So there are few key differences between the external and internal fertilization. So let's capture them. What are that? So external in the external fertilization, the gametes are released in the external environment. Second, in the external environment, the fertilization occurs outside the body. In contrast, in the internal fertilization, the fertilization occurs within the female, and the internal fertilizations, they are in the internal fertilization, the animals are categorized into three types: the oviparous, viviparous, and the oviviparous. So, what are these types? We will discuss in the next slide. But know that there are three types of the animals in according to the internal fertilization. So, in the internal fertilization, the survival rate of the offspring is much higher than the external fertilization. Okay, because they have the mechanisms of protecting their offspring. So, the animals of the which have the internal fertilization have three types. One is the oviparous. Oviparous means the animals of egg laying, means these animals lays the eggs. Okay, so depositing eggs that develop and hatch outside the body. Then secondly, the viviparous. Viviparous means animals which give the birth of living animal, not the eggs. Okay, most of the mammals are in this category because they give the birth to the children, not the eggs. Okay, so a third category is the ovoviparity. Yeah, ovoviparous. So the eggs are retained in the female, but the embryo obtains its nourishment from the egg's yolk. Means they have the egg, okay, and the embryo which is developing is taking its nourishment from the egg's yolk, not from the mother through the placenta. Okay, so they are separate from the female body but present in the female body. Okay, so thank you. Hope you are satisfied with this detailed session, and if you have any query, please write in the comment box. I will resolve your query. This session is powered by digital version 2 Jyoti Vidhyapeeth Women's University Jaipur. Thank you.